But before we go into the details, let us kind of introduce to you, so you'll know who you're dealing with. So again, my name is Tom, and I'm a Senior Innovation Manager at L'Oréal here in Poland and Baltics. And today with me, I have big brains from Consumer Products Division. I mean, Apostolos, who is going to share with you today a few insights about the division and what to take into consideration, what kind of data, information, what kind of insights you can use to prepare a very, very good product for Brandstorm. Apostolos, can you share a few words about yourself?
Absolutely, Tomek. Thank you very much for the sharp intro. So, hello, everyone. Excited to be with you. Back in my academic years, when I was a Brandstormer, as you aspire to be, before 15 years. So, very sharply, I'm Greek. I'm in Poland, in this wonderful country, the last 1.5 years, as a brand business director of the biggest brand of the group, which is L'Oréal Paris, supervising marketing and commercial and communication métier for Poland, of course, and for the Baltic region as well. I perceive myself as a L'Oréal baby, meaning that I was born and raised within L'Oréal company. And I'm more than excited to combine my two biggest loves, which is academia. I'm coming from a big and long academic journey, from Athens University of Economics and Business to Bocconi Business School in Milan, to Strathclyde Business School in Glasgow, to INSEAD in France, and to IMD in Lausanne in Switzerland. And the second biggest love, which is Brandstorm, that made me and defined me so much to stand here with pride and sharing my experience with you.
Yeah, so we have a Brandstormer.
Sorry, Tomek, just to make, just for the proof of the concept, as we say in technology, you may not, it could be a great quiz, who am I? But in order to help you, I'm that guy in the middle with the pink shirt and the black suit.
Good outfit.
And indeed, Facebook that time started existing. So we are speaking about that back.
2008. So it was like a year after the Facebook was founded. It was 2007. Good. So as you can see, we have here big brains, meaning the brand director, but also Apostolos has his own experience with Brandstorm. So the insights you're gonna get here today are from also a person who kind of went through a similar experience that you will go through when you apply to the Brandstorm competition. And so what is the agenda for today? What can you expect? So in a moment, I'm going to explain in a few words what Brandstorm is about, just to be sure that we are on the same page. Maybe you already have some info. Maybe you would like to get some info. So this is kind of, to get to the even level. Then I will ask Apostolos to give you some insights into CPD, so Consumers Product Division. These are the, brand strategies, so focus areas. These are the information you can use to prepare your pitch, to prepare your Brandstorm project. The more insights you have, the more insights you use, the better the project you can prepare for Brandstorm. Brandstorm challenge recap, some more information about male self-care, because this is important element and this is important focus for this year for Brandstorm. Men's beauty across the world, so kind of a little bit of global perspective, not only here for Poland and Baltics hub, but also in the more global perspectives. You're going to have also interesting insights, and not only for this particular hub. And last but not least, of course, questions, some short Q&A. So if you're going to have any questions, any doubts, feel free to to say. I'm going to manage the whole flow, and we're going to make sure that you're going to have all the information there. Okay, so what is L'Oréal Brandstorm, right? So this is a competition. You together, if you are between 18 and 30, this is the group we want to focus on most. You can participate in L'Oréal Brandstorm. And it's a competition for people who want to create some new ideas, innovations, concepts within the L'Oréal world, right? We do not expect you to have any particular experience, so don't worry. We need your creative ideas. We need your approach. We need your vibe to fill in the whole, in the whole project. When it comes to the takeaways, so why Brandstorm can be a good initiative for you? Well, if you want to gain some experience, and if you want to gain some experience in innovation design, how to work with new ideas, how to solve challenges, how to work with big brands, but the biggest brands in the in beauty. If you want to experience this together with your colleagues and friends, remember that Brandstorm is for a group of 3 people, right? We invite you to apply as groups. And if you're somewhere, at the beginning of your career journey, from our perspective, this is going to be the experience you want to have when it comes to your experiences with innovation, right? And new projects and new ideas. So again, the most important information, international innovation, right? So when you're going to pitch and you're going to prepare your concept, of course, this is going to be on the Polish level. So we're going to have assessors assessing in the Polish level. But then the top best projects from around the world will also have some special prizes. And there is also an opportunity to work with mentors from L'Oréal, right? So of course you're going to have your idea and you're kind of, it's going to be a starting point. But then when you get to the next phase, we will also have mentors for you who can help you with developing your concept. And last but not least, prizes. So what can be a takeaway from you? Besides the experience, besides the knowledge, besides great community that is behind Brandstorm, of course, a trip to Paris and job offers, because, of course, we're going to want to have your ideas in the company and develop them into workable kind of projects, solutions, campaigns that we can run for our brands. So,
if I may, given this imaginary that I see now, the guy of the picture, it's called Marty Philus, and this picture has been taken around a year back. It was on the national finals. You will see a great video afterwards. And now, the last 4 months, Marty Philus belongs to L'Oréal Paris team. He's working and reporting to me, driving together great projects and great innovation in real life, not in the learning and gaming life, which is Brandstorm, but in the real business life in L'Oréal.
Yeah. So this is on top of the trip to Paris. So here we have a short movie that we want to share with you and to show you some vibe of the whole Brandstorm concept.
I'm very excited to be here, and I think that it is one of the best opportunities I had in a long time.
Brandstorm embodies perfectly the DNA of L'Oréal, entrepreneurial spirit, innovative spirit with people at heart. And for CPD, we are in the way to build the most innovative, data and tech-driven division.
It's a right chance to pitch our idea about an app that will help L'Oréal become a better place. And it's kind of impressive, and we are really happy to be here, and we are waiting for the results.
It was amazing, and we loved every moment of it.
Innovations can come from anywhere, and great ideas as well. And what I can tell you is that this year it certainly came from our 2024 L'Oréal Brandstorm Polish and Baltic final with fantastic ideas that we hope to go through until London.
So here you can see the vibe, right, that is behind the whole project. What you could see is this was the day where we had pitches for the best local teams. And what I would pinpoint probably the most, and what I find most kind of valuable in the whole process, is actually getting to know people, because you could see there Valery, who's a CEO director for Poland and Baltics, but you could see HR director, marketing director, brand managers, brand directors. So really a number of people who have amazing know-how and are very eager to share with you their perspective. So what is it in it for you in participating in Brandstorm? Well, of course, this is something that you could for sure put into your resume. You learn a lot of new skills, and this is a fast-track develop career path in L'Oréal. When it comes to local winners, when you're a local winner, we assign you a mentor who's going to work with you and help you to develop your concept. And you're going to be invited to pitch your concept to L'Oréal headquarters in Paris for the local winners. And the main prize globally, if you win, then yes, you have a big chance for a long and lasting career for L'Oréal headquarters and different regions. So it's a really, really good idea to participate. So I hope this kind of brief intro intrigued you at least a little bit, and you want to think, okay, Tom, Apostolos, so what can we do? How to prepare a good quality project for Brandstorm? Well, let's start with insights. Let's start with divisions, CPD, and let's start with some insights. Apostolos, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Tomek. You really made me want to play again, to be honest. So, moving now to more tangible and practical aspect of the competition in order to make the dream come true, more or less. And I don't know how many people now is with us because I don't have this visibility on my screen, but I have to confess that for those being here, it's a testament of your engagement, your willingness, your passion, and I feel that potential winning team is around among us right now. It is a great indication of people that will step in and pop up through this competition. My personal commitment to all participants, but mostly on the winning teams afterwards, is that I want to work with you to create and make Poland and Baltics proud region by succeeding in global competition. So it's not a competition, to be honest, it's a co-petition. So it's a competition and cooperation, and mostly it's a cooperation, because at the end of the day, we need to synthesize great ideas in one single story towards Paris and competing in international level. So we are with you, we are not against you, we are on your side. Having said that, I start with the first cluster of insights, which is to familiarize a little bit you with the consumer product divisions. L'Oréal is being split in 4 big divisions. One is the consumer product divisions, the other is on selective, the other is in dermocosmetics, and the other is professional products in salons. And why we should do that? Because you need to have the context when you design product or technology or service. You need to understand to which kind of equity, to which kind of framework this should apply. So I welcoming you to the division of beauty democratizers, and this is the manifesto. This is the main tagline of our division, because this is what we truly do. We democratize beauty at its best. We are the mass market division. We are the most inclusive division. We don't exclude no one from a product offer, either from a gender orientation, from an age inclusivity, from a behavioral inclusivity, from a beauty consumption and beauty habit inclusivity. And the main principle of our division is to democratize beauty and premiumize beauty. Let's see a video to put us in the mood of the division, and then I will analyze you a little bit further the key brands and the key men angle within the division.
In the L'Oréal Consumer Products division, we are beauty democratizers, bringing the power of premium cutting-edge beauty to all people. CPD is home to the biggest brands in beauty and a powerful portfolio elevating beauty routines around the world. Our teams are made up of beauty democratizers with diverse disciplines and passions. From designing innovative products to selling them, from analyzing markets to opening new ones, from digitizing our processes to uniting our people. We come from different countries, schools, cultures. No two of us following the same path, each our own entrepreneur. But there are a few things beauty democratizers all share. We are pioneers, exploring the emerging markets that will be the future of the industry. We are sustainability champions, representing 5 of the group's 7 billion units and turning that scale into real impact. We are innovators, creating the game-changing products and services that people need, sometimes before they know it. Finally, beauty democratizers are winners, striving for the excellence necessary to succeed at such tremendous scale. You are up next. Are you a beauty democratizer?
I hope you really enjoyed the vibe and what this division stands for. And if I have to summarize some buzzwords for you, that the majority of them resonate with the selection criteria, as you may have noticed in the briefing section of Brandstorm, this would be go big or go home, data justification on whatever you propose and do, cutting edge technology and innovation, daring innovation, digital at heart, universality, beauty for all, eye on emerging, and for us emerging is Latin America, Asia Pacific, Africa, apart from, of course, the well-established West and Europe, America and Europe, which is the developed world of beauty, sustainability, sensitivity, scale, and winning spirit. So this is a bit of decoded, the video you saw, and all of them resonated in the selection criteria of the projects. And of course, L'Oréal is a huge organization with more than 45 brands, but we are very proud in the consumer product division, in the first row of the brands that you see, L'Oréal Paris, the brand that holds the name of the group, and the biggest brand of the world, Maybelline, Garnier, Essie, Mixa, NYX, and a bit more regional brands that are not that broadly well known, but are very well known in Asia, like Stylenanda, for instance, or in US and Africa. I'm starting with L'Oréal Paris, and I'm sure that every one of you have heard the tagline, "We are worth it, you are worth it," or "Zeste tego warta" for the Polish audience. It is the biggest brand of the group. It is the biggest brand in Poland. It is the biggest brand in our region. It is one of the most powerful and purposeful brands, holding inside its equity, pioneering science, justified technology. It's a feminist and feminine brand, meaning that it takes a stand on what is happening around the planet. It has this Parisian spirit inside and being driven by Parisian spirit and Parisian heritage. By the way, it's a pleasure in L'Oréal Paris to hold one men-specific brand, which is Men Expert by L'Oréal Paris. And it could be a potential territory for you to explore. The second biggest brand of the division is Garnier. It is our green beauty. It's our sustainability champion. It is the brand powered by green science, chemistry, and biology in order to convey to consumers proximity, efficacy, trust, multi-usage products, quite democratic brand, universal, speaking to women and men as well, equivalently, and very modern and up-to-date brand, hacking new trends and being quite digital, with a good digital affinity as well. What to say about Maybelline, New York, coming directly from the pulse of New York, and it is the #1 makeup brand in the world on a very competitive market. It is a brand that gives everyone self-confidence, and in the ethos and the core architecture of the brand, it is the work hard and play hard mentality. I'm sure it's a well-established and well-known brand in Poland as well. It's a leading brand in Poland as well. So majority of them, even the men audience, can resonate with men. And then Mixa, which is the last big brand that we activate in Poland, which is a sensitive skin expert, and it is a brand that universally tackle all skin needs for all ages and for all genders, all incomes, and all phototypes of skincare. So with this small intro, I hope I put a context to which and for what you will develop and innovate, and always have in mind to be bold and daring for L'Oréal consumer product divisions. Now, let's move a little bit deeper to why this year we decided to make the competition behind men, products, and technology. And definitely, we have to admit that it is an untapped opportunity for us. And you will realize very soon why I say that. It is an untapped opportunity on a market of around 40 to 50 billions, which is the men market, that we can definitely bring another billion of sales into a division that accounts around 16 billion globally. So it can bring a great incrementality without any cannibalization of the existing business. Instead, open up a growth horizon for us for the coming 20 years, because we have clearly decoded women, but still we haven't managed to do it in men. And this slide clearly proves that. Why? If we start from a population perspective, we can say that more or less in every country globally, we have 50% men, 50% women. If we see the weight of men beauty in total beauty market, this is 24%. So 50-50 population, but still the women are 3 times bigger in weight of business versus men. And when it comes to our business, CPD, Consumer Product Division, this is less than 10%. So we are seriously female skewed, or on the optimistic side, we haven't untapped the opportunity we have in men, and this is growth opportunity ahead of us. And there was not a better era over the last centuries, let's put it like that, given that beauty exists around us from the very, very beginning of humanity, more than 100,000 years. But it is the great era today that men beauty can be hacked. We see the role on men evolving in social media, being quite active, quite engaging, quite interactive. We see men flipping the game from preserving their masculinity to opening up really, and being much more keen to experiment and express themselves with various types of beauty. And of course, beauty at the end, it's an inner need, another frame of health and inner peace. So beauty can play that role as well, and men need it desperately more than ever. So very hard maths. We split the universe of men products to 2 big clusters. The first, it's called men specific, meaning that they are brands designed only for men, from a formulation perspective, from a communication perspective, from a packaging perspective, from a scent perspective. And apart from products, even the services they convey are men dedicated, or even the technology, the augmented product, the technology that amplifies these products are men skewed again. Examples: L'Oréal Paris Men Expert, Nivea Men, Dove Men Care, Garnier Men. It doesn't exist in Poland. It doesn't exist extensively in Europe, but it is massive in emerging world. And as you can see, it is 40% of the global business, meaning that still men don't go to men-specific products. That's why I'm introducing the second cluster, which is the non-specific. This is products existing around. They have a unisex profile and are being definitely used from men. either direct or indirect. For instance, my wife uses Elsev, and I use Elsev as well because I find it in our bathroom. Examples of this is clearly Nivea as well, Dove, Garnier. It's the protagonist on this territory. Thayers, a brand from on USA existing in USA mostly, and a limited distribution in Europe. Mixa, of course, and definitely brands outside of mass perimeter. That it is an endless list. So let's see the big clusters of the men beauty and what we have to offer, what we can offer so far. And for you, it's an insight of either you're gonna decide to disrupt from existing or propose something totally different. It's up to your hands. I don't want to frame you. Instead, I want to unleash options for you. So in skincare, definitely it's a great opportunity for us because you can see here a very simple chart, the penetration of usage per age group. Every man, almost saturation, uses hair care, uses at least shampoo. It's great to see that the penetration of deodorants increasing up to saturation levels as men maturing from the very younger ages towards a bit of more mature ages. But if you see face care, for instance, face care is very low penetrated. It's very optimistic that the younger ages are coming. It's like a bit for the norm of the game for them. But from 35 plus, this drops dramatically up to 10% penetration when we talk on boomers, for instance. So skincare is great opportunity for us because we are very well established in skincare business in women, and we have a great heritage. The men-specific brands to tackle skincare is L'Oréal Paris Men Expert and Garnier Men, and some non-specific brands and non-specific territories from the L'Oréal Consumer Product Division portfolio. It is Garnier with a big portfolio, and of course it's Thayers and Mixa. You can search, look, and deep dive on this territory. Second, hair care. Here the things it's a little bit more limited because we don't have a men-specific hair care brand. Let's start from that. That's why we tackle men with the unisex portfolio of Garnier. So it is products designed for him and for her. And lately, we put an effort to start tackling men through Elsev, which is the leading brand of specialized hair for women. But some franchises have the right to win on the men battleground, which is still Elsevier Hyaluronic Pure. You may know, you may not know, and a product that is coming the coming month, which is Growth Booster anti-hair fall series. But still, we are not bold there. We have to admit. And apart from the product selection, of course, we try to do a lot of shift in our business model. We start creating dedicated communication for men. We start making partnerships in advocacy ecosystem with men influencers and somehow strategize our activities in territories that were a bit untapped lately. So there is a big call to action from a divisional perspective to conquer men. We haven't managed to do yet, and we need great disruption in order to accomplish in the coming X years. So what we have done so far, Tomek introduced us in the Brandstorm competition. I passed then towards the consumer product divisions, the big macro thing, why we are here and what agenda we need to serve. Then we drill down to the men existing series of CPD. And up to now, I think we can open up and inspire ourselves much broader, seeing some more universal insights about the rise of men care, about some myths. Let's do a bit of myth busting together as well. Let's break some stereotyping existing for men beauty. And I hope at the end, I will equip you in a more a deeper level than the briefing note that you have received from Brandstorm, which is quite good as well. Play as a role, and hopefully it can trigger nice at the end. So this is where we are for the people that just jumped in, and this is how we move forward from now on. So very briefly, and without any intention to overwhelm you with data, so I will prefer to stay on the big headlines and focus on the big underlying messages. It's great to see that men are being more empathetic and more sensitive, more polite, more sociable, versus more strict, more masculine, more locked, let's put it like that. And this is a big stereotype existing around us. We called it toxic masculinity, but hopefully, and the data prove that, men is flipping towards a much more authentic entity. And have it in mind, because especially the younger generations are fully on it, and it can be a great driving force for tomorrow's beauty. On the second aspect is that men are more caring in general in social causes. So at the end of the day, men care as well on what is happening around. And that means that products with strong purpose can survive and can gain their attention spot. And in this quest of unlocking the men beauty, we have some challenges. So very simple challenges that even can be summarized in a so nicely yin and yang way of presenting. Because for men, beauty is not normal, it's not there yet established. There are a lot of taboos. There is a lot of social proof needed in order for them to move on. They don't feel comfortable. Beauty for them is a universe of contradiction. It's an unknown territory. That's why, at the end, men approach should be de-dramatized, and we can definitely not chase men on the way we know well to do it on women. So there is no we, WO, on activation, and we need even us to flip the game totally and moving away from strong convictions cultivated in L'Oréal more than 100 years in order to claim their trust and their support. We need to move from real men don't buy beauty products, which is a big stereotype around us. And me as a user, first, I want really to cultivate, even my kid, I have a young son, to cultivate the perception of that it is a great responsibility to take care of yourself. And we need to empower all of us, the beauty product usage to men, because it's a matter of dignity at the end of the day. It's a matter of personal empowerment. It's a matter of psychological safety in order to normalize the purchase and mostly the usage, not just the purchase. Okay, at the end, men decision still remains a men decision. You women, for the women audiences with us, you play a very important role in our selection, in our shopper path, but still only 20% of men claim, and I underline this word, so it's claim, that are being influenced by their partners, sisters, mothers, whatever. I say claim because no one will admit. So there is always a perception gap between the claimed and the unconscious behavior, which I believe it's a bit bigger than 20%. But I cannot rely on my beliefs, our strategy. That's why I even call you to make your own research, to validate your hypothesis, to ask friends, and you can develop a research methodology on your own, at scale, shorter, qualitative, quantitative. It will be really unlock to you blind spots, and validate hypotheses that may cost you afterwards in the competition. And another big myth. Okay, at the end of the day, men needs a simple solution. Okay, you go, you grab your shampoo. It needs just to smell good. What a myth. What a stereotype. No, we are totally... This myth doesn't exist, for instance, when it comes to gaming, when it comes to our favorable team sport club, that we know every detail. We know sophisticated data from players to heritage to championships. When it comes to cars, to mobility industry. So I just described some passion points of men to prove you that men love sophistication. They love to be and feel equipped and can share this knowledge in their social environment. That's why we proudly call you to think a bit. Men is not amateur product users, but they can groom themselves like a pro, as they can play like a pro, as they can compete like a pro on other categories and industries. And to prove you that, here you can see a demonstration of search queries over the last, let's say, 3-4 years, that men are more into routines. When you hear this word in the beauty ecosystem, routine, it's a series of steps. So a shampoo, it is a shampoo, it's not a routine, but a shampoo with a serum of anti-hair fall and a leave-in product at the end, it is a routine. A cream is a cream, but a serum first, a cream, night cream second, and a day cream afterwards, this is a routine. And men are dramatically increase their interest to routines, meaning that they are open to make combinations and multiple product usage. And I gave you an insight before, but here I think it's very well documented that men are not women on the way they love to consume content, and especially beauty content. By the way, they don't like to consume beauty content with a typical way we know and has been established the last 60, 50 years by the industry on women, meaning radical visualization of the benefit, meaning exploitation of well-known personas, meaning before afters. So men needs to be hacked on a more different way. And for those that like mythology and history, a great history coming from Homer, which is the Trojan horse. So we need to find Trojan horses to unlock men. That's why we introduce the notion of men passion points, which is areas, territories of interest that they give them high affinity, they give them a sense of belonging, they give them a peer-to-peer influence, and through that territories, we can speak them about beauty. And to help you a little further, we have identified these passion points. And okay, it's not, I think it would be expected if I could ask you that the first passion point is generally sports, either passive or active, either as a viewer or as an active participant, music, gaming, comedy, humor, different types of formats of consumption, from YouTube to more podcast-related content, audio books, audio and ebooks. So this is a very nice territories to affiliate and hack for men. And we have identified, as we say, 10 meta clusters. They're called meta clusters because they're coming from a meta-analysis. Still, the research levels in men territory are quite low. So there are no extensive research on consumer behavior on men, but it is evolving very fast. And depending on 2 dimensions, how sophisticated, so on the vertical axis, how sophisticated it is perceived the beauty routine of a man, and how simple on the other way it is. And on the horizontal axis, how playfulness, the men, it is the territory of playfulness, meaning that I use products to be more experiential, to like the textures, the skin, more indulgence. And on the other hand, responsibility, meaning I want to use products that have high safety, low environmental footprint, etc., etc. We have created these clusters, so you can see 3 clusters in the high sophistication, high playfulness, 3 clusters in the high sophistication, but more responsibility than playfulness, 2 clusters in simplicity and playfulness, and 1 cluster in simplicity and responsibility. And we give a bit of sexy names on these clusters. For instance, high sophistication and moderate playfulness, it is the powerful leaders. So there are people with big purchasing power, around 5% of the total population, but 15% of the total weight of business. So they do 3 times the weight of business over their population. So they are big spenders. And they are the men that mostly using whole routine, treating their bird care. They use expensive perfumes. They use skincare as well. So this is just an example. And on this card, we can navigate a bit because everything is recorded and the content can be provided to you in order to create a mood board on how you should start visualizing when you will ideate with your peers, when you will brainstorm with your peers, and when you will start converging your ideas towards a target audience and or a need audience. So here you can see a good visualization on some drivers that this kind of audience are being affected of, which is I need to look successful and sophisticated, so my style should be perfect. I take charge, I set up the rules, so I'm a bit bossy. It's a male version of the girl bosses or trendy alphas, women existing around us in Poland right now, quite dynamic audience as well. I'm very strong but sensitive as well. I master my appearance, so I'm really an expert. I know. So I want brands to not tell me what to do, but somehow to lever to give me options and new horizons, and I will find out the way. That's the insight on them. They are men that are very familiar with wellness and grooming programs. They want to preserve their youth, and they are not at all ashamed on that. Instead, they are very proud. They are social. Their sophistication is reflected to other aspects of their life, like they are foodies, for instance. They do quite niche sports and a bit of demanding in niche sports. They travel a lot. So this is an example of how you should start framing your personas when you will be thinking about targeting. And given the time, I don't want to go deeper because it's just an audience. But at the end of the day, I think it's quite indicative on what's in it for you. Have in mind that 6 male groups, which is powerful leaders, I explained, sick and trendy. So it's a bit of twist on powerful leader. They are more edgy. They are more extravaganza towards beauty. And for them, beauty is an enabler to make a more provocative look and a very well-established look on a total look perimeter. Because for them, it's not only hair, bird care, skincare. It's a combination among clothing, fashion, and beauty is an extension to that. All cool athletes, which is a quite big audience in terms of population. It's 7.7% total EU5, the big 5 markets of EU. You can understand that there are people with a good affinity on sports. So the products for them should be more performing, having more durable. The textures should be absorbing easier. The fragrances should not be dominant. So it's a whole different ecosystem to target those people. Or men in progress, which is a younger person. Now they are trying to identify themselves, shaping and defining their own personal individuality. And winners in motion, which is again a very, very big cluster of agents of audiences, along with demanding classing experts. Here is a more old money heritage. It is more classic beauty. It is more products that last. It is more superiority. It is more this kind of drivers that help you unlock those audiences. Another example, for instance, let's take Cool Athlete as an example to build a second angle on a more less mood board now, but more tangible aspects and drivers and characteristics. These people are. We say they belong to the masculinity radar because they're very well maintained, well looking. They have a healthy prosperity. They are more edgy. They have a good dynamism. They are very, very open, and they have a free spirit to test and learn and experiment. Their grooming motivation is to feel good for themselves. They really count a lot on their body appearance and body physique and feeling. For them, healthy, good-looking body and appearance is linked to happiness, so it's much deeper than taking care of my muscles. They want clean beauty. They want to feel clean. And for them, beauty is an occasion to relax after a quite demanding effort in the sports battleground. They use definitely shampoo and deodorants almost daily, and then, as you may see, they can have a good affinity with almost all the categories of beauty. As a path to purchase, in general, men are quite simple, I would say. Hypermarket, supermarkets, a bit of specific beauty drugstores, and definitely e-com are the dominant shop channels that men are will end up to somehow meet their appetite for beauty. And in respect of social platforms and media touch points, private TV, selective print, and all the dominant social platforms are the areas in order to find them and recruit them. And let's focus to a more, let's say, caring and purposeful and equivalently sophisticated audiences, which is the demanding experts. It is profiles that around you exist, and you will see them quoting, "You can count on me. I do always right. I know to do the right things right." They're well educated in the masculinity radar. They are a bit older, so around 40s to 50s. They are family oriented, family skewed, classic and elegant. They have this kind of nice romantic sensitivity and nostalgia, and they don't differentiate themselves dramatically on grooming motivations. It's still they want to feel good and feel clean and well groomed, but on a higher end level. So this is the differentiating parameter versus the previous audiences that we saw. and in the touch points of even path to purchase or key media touch points that you can find them, nothing dramatically changes from the previous audiences. So overall, have in mind, and towards to close my speech, that anything you will define and decide has a halo effect to everyone else. So at the end of the day, you don't do strategy for all. You cannot do products and satisfy all. There is no one size fits all in marketing and in product development, even in service development. So have in mind to choose your battles wisely. It's better to develop something quite consistent and relevant for a niche, and then aspire on a positive halo effect to rest audiences, rather than staying a little bit in the middle with no clear ID and no clear agenda. And I use this not that simple, but quite effective in visualization flowchart to highlight to you that every man archetype out there influences, either direct or indirect, others. So just to give you an example, if you do strategy for demanding classic expert, the friendly family man, they will buy either or, because the role models for them is the classic demanding experts. If you do strategy for sick and trendy, you may influence powerful leaders, and they themselves, with their turn, they can influence others. So there is a halo effect of it works like a network at the end of the day. And closing with some hard data, where to focus, where to start. I know that the briefing memo, the briefing note, has quite a good navigation for you. Have in mind that in top beauty categories, beard care and hair care are quite dominant. So it is the easy thing, and men beauty already exists there. So if we innovate, we may do something much better than the current competitors are doing. Styling, face care, fragrance, coloration are quite niche still, and untapped opportunities. Overall, the conversation on men is around hair and styling in general. So we have done an extensive social listening, and so far, men are hide themselves on the comfortable area of their beard care and hair care, which is great, by the way, and maybe they feel okay to do so, but it's not why we're here and what we want from you and from our prospects the coming years. And they can be very inventive, to be honest. For instance, look how sophisticated is the way that men treat their beard care, with dedicated content, with dedicated code words, with dedicated techniques, with dedicated tools in order to treat their and execute their techniques. With dedicated areas, they do it themselves. They go to exclusive barbershops, and I'm sure that you have seen an amazing explosion of barbershops in Poland the last 5 years. And just to combine what I have said so far with you, men really have this gamification at heart. So we have spotted that they use a tone of voice derived from gaming in order to describe beauty. For instance, you can see new hair unlocked, proudly sharing in TikTok. Level up your hair game, adding some volume when my hair was a bit thin. Level up your grooming game, unlock your beard potential. So you see that they play a lot with gaming tonality. And last, if I had to somehow highlight to you emerging trends for further exploration, it is everything around barber talk, and barber still it is a professional angle, so it doesn't belong to L'Oreal Consumer Product Division. It doesn't belong to mass beauty. It's a pro beauty. Glow up on skincare, covering insecurities, ASMR, so it is hacking well-established trends for beauty, bird care, get ready with me, skincare in general. It is very emerging, especially on younger generations. Fragrance hacks, combination of products, hygiene territory in general. Summarizing my messages, male beauty buyers spend significantly more time with media than women, and that's a great insight. Male beauty buyers overall over-index in audio, gaming, and press, and sports as a passion points. YouTube, Spotify, Instagram offer very high reach, but less affinity, while more niche platforms like Twitch, Amazon Music, and Reddit deliver an affinity, but not that big reach. TikTok dominates conversations on social lately, I will add. And the language of gaming increasingly applies to male beauty. And last but not least, male audience prefer short videos and mostly engage on hair and bird categories. So it should be snackable content instead of long formats that they will lose their attention span.
So, thanks, Apostolos. I think that you can see these the data, the insights, the information. This is something that if you'd like to buy on the market, thousands of zlotys at least. But here we want you to use it, to leverage for your project. Based on this information and insight, you can have a good understanding of where is the biggest potential. And the three most important things I want you in a way to remember is the first insight, that the men's self-care is the area where we see a big potential, right? So this is why we ask you to innovate in this area, in this domain, because you can not only innovate within L'Oreal, but in general for the whole beauty industry. So this is number one. Number two, when it comes to direction, skincare and hair care, right? These are the most important kind of focus around which you can build, you can think kind of solutions. What can be interesting there? What is the what can be the magic there that you can focus on? At least we know that deodorants are happening, right? So for the summer season, I suppose this is a bright sign, I would say. And last but not least, I strongly recommend you you go again through the recording of the session today, because as you could see, it was packed with a lot of insights, a lot of data that you can use to leverage your concept for Brandstorm, right? Because all in all, have in mind that Brandstorm is innovation competition, so this is creativity. And if you don't already have your account there, this is the time to register, right? But Brandstorm is the initiative where we want your creative ideas, when we want your spark, your perspective, your creative vibe that is rooted in data, right? Rooted in some consumer insights, that it has relevance to what actually is happening with our consumers, to our consumers, and the way they see the surrounding world, right? So if you have any questions, now is the time that you can type them or be prepared to ask. Just as a summary, have also in mind that this is the first webinar out of the set of 3 different webinars that are designed to kind of walk you through and give you some additional insights, additional perspectives. So I strongly encourage you to treat this one as our first meeting and dive into the CPD, right, the Consumer Products Division. But we're going to have a few more colleagues that are going to joining me to share with you some more insights, more data that you can use to leverage your project. You already have the links on the chat. So feel free to use them now. It's a good option, and we're happy to answer any questions you may have today.
That's for the ice breaking. If I may, give a bit of some seconds to think some questions. I want to give some tips, reflecting on my younger self 15 years back. So if today you have a clear idea what to do, it's not the proper idea. If today you are feeling totally lost, it's the right stage to be. If today you have some people in mind to team up with, it's the right place to be. And please take care of the team up. Try to build complementary teams. Try to build teams that you may not cooperate ideally, and maybe this is not even tested in your previous experience, or if you are classmates, whatever, but you see that are quite disruptive personalities with challenging the status quo and challenging even you, and the team collective intelligence will dominate over the individual intelligence. Anticipate well the scoring criteria, because at the end it's a competition that lands to very pragmatic scoring of 5 key dimensions. Talk to your friends to have fast validation of the idea that you may develop, unless you want to standardize with a more standardized research. Stand out as a team and look like as a team. Take a record of your meetups. At the end, it's a journey. You will create a great bond each other. My Brandstormer fellow is my best man, just to give you an idea how we ended up in life. Have in mind that you are entering a broader global community of Brandstormers, that we have a great support and affinity with each other. For those that you are on the forefront of finishing the studies, it's a great experience to add some tangible working experience in your CV. For those that you are already working somewhere, but still it's not solid, it's a great opportunity for career switching. For those that you are coming from totally different business environments or marketing environments, like engineering, for instance, it's a great idea to broaden your horizons and complete much better your profiles. Don't stress at all. It's still a learning journey, and enjoy the ride, not just the destination.
Yes, and thank you, Pastor. Kind of, a very, very good perspective. A best man. Interesting. So the experience for Brandstorm developed into really, really close relationships.
Absolutely.
So I would just kind of, shout out to the all people here, the questions. So when it comes to the deadline for the projects, it's 15th of April. I would strongly recommend not to leave it for the last day. We all have our deadlines. Yes, I know. But have in mind also, take into consideration, any technical challenges. I would expect a number of people trying to load up their presentations. So being, a day earlier is always a good idea, right? So we have this in mind. We'll be selecting up to 10 teams that we're going to invite to local finals, where you will be asked to pitch your concept. You will also have the opportunity to meet all the people engaged in the Brandstorm community here at L'Oréal office. To also have the kind of the vibe around the pitching sessions.
Tomek, I want to add something important on the pitching, because at the end we don't expect you to win in order to onboard. By the way, I never won. I never traveled to Paris. I was in national finals, and I am evolving in the company the 15 years quite successfully. So we can identify the talent across all teams, from your preparation, from your way you moderate your team, the way you present to us, the way you handle questions. So pitching day, it's a nice milestone itself, and participate is to win, not just being the 3 people that will qualify for the next round. It's amazing, but it's not the only option for you. There are much more on the participation side.
Yeah. And have in mind that this is also an experience for you, right? So I would focus on that myself, working with startups, having a lot of experience when it comes to pitching. Each and every pitch is even better. You gain the experience. This is how you learn. So I would also take this into consideration, seeing the question concerning English. English is the main working language, so yes, we want you to prepare the project in English, especially because it's also an international project, right? So have this in mind. So we want to focus on. You'll also have an opportunity to polish your English if you'd like. Specific content that the project should include. Well, when it comes to content, I would refer and would start with the main topics that Apostolos shared today, right? So anything that is going to be within the domain of men self-care, it's a good starting point. When it comes to preparing your concept, developing it, I would strongly recommend you to have, of course, your creative idea, your insight, your your spark on one hand, and then the other hand also to have to be able to show that this is based on some insight, right? So either this is going to be your insight, I mean your personal insight, or this is going to be insight from the data we shared today, right? So be ready to show that this is not just your idea and your perspective, and you think that this is going to work, but be able to also show the logic behind it, right? To show that something is rooted in the insight, and that is why you think that this is going to work. Any other questions?
I noticed a hand raising from someone, Stefania Aragon.
Yeah.
Hi, yes. Thank you for having this amazing meeting. It's super useful. I just wanted to ask a little bit more about it. So we have to present also like market research, like because I want to have in my mind how big we have to make the project. So we have to do like market research, or maybe like a whole strategy for the campaigns, or is it more like just the idea and to picture where the idea is coming from and what you said, Tomek, why this is gonna work, but not specifically like that we have to present a whole thing prepared, or what will be better?
Apostolos, any recommendations on your side?
No, look, at the end of the day, you are searching for killer facts. So we are not there to judge your research capacity. We want to go closer to the truth. So if you find out the truth with extensive research or not that extensive research, it's up to you. We just care about the final outcome, this insight, this idea, this killer fact, this blind spot, this diagnosis that will give light and justify a bit your proposal, which will be a product, a service, a technology, a disruption. So no, the question is, we don't just want something that is not substantiated at all, because if you see the criteria, there are 2-3 criteria more pragmatic, apart from the power of the fantasy and the innovation, but not lose ground to show us the back office, because it's useless. Focus really to utilize the outcome of your research in a killer fact proposition that will grab attention, make us want to see more of the proposal on the national finals.
Amazing, thank you.
I can also add to that. Just let me know if you can hear me correctly.
Hi, Dominika.
Perfect. So hi everyone. I was like a silent voice here on this webinar today, but I'm a Brandstorm project manager for our hub, so I can also add to that question that when it comes for the project submission, so you have only 3 slides for your pitch presentation. So on those slides, you really need to focus on like the most important things. You really need to catch the eye of the jury and show us why your innovation is the one we should choose. And then if you will be selected for our local finals and then global finals, you will also work with our expert to master your pitch. And then, you know, during the local and global finals, you will have few minutes also to explain a bit more and give more of the context and also the whole story and the research and the, you know, background of your innovation and the insights. So I would say it's kind of both, but it's, you know, a different timing when it comes to when you will tell us about it. So for the 3 slides of your innovation pitch, you just really need to focus on the most important things. But then if you will be selected for the next stages, then you will have a space to tell us a bit more. And for, of course, it will be useful to prepare yourself for the jury questions during the global or local finals, because for sure there will be a lot of, you know, detailed question about the innovation as well.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
Any other questions you may have? So last but not least, I would also probably develop a little bit about the AI use. And as Dominika said, feel free to use any tools that you'd like. We would recommend you to treat AI as a kind of, you know, to prepare some draft versions, draft ideas, draft concepts, and then you to be the person to kind of, you know, polish it and to prepare the final version, especially when it comes to pitching. You know, you want to have a good understanding why you are rooting for a particular solution, right? So this is very important.
I will answer the question that just popped out on the chat in case of looking for the team. It's great you're looking for the Brandstorm website and the Brandstorm platform, because you can see also, you know, the teams that are missing one or more participants. So you can try to connect that there. If you will have a lot of troubles and, you know, cannot find anything, you can try to like make your own team and then reach out on the Brandstorm platform directly, you know, with a message, and then it will be directed to me, and then I can help you with that to find some other team members for the Brandstorm platform. But I would say for now, like, keep trying, and for sure someone will be there on the Brandstorm platform as well. And I can recommend to create your own team and then also trying to communicate with other people to join your team as well. Oh, and I think we just found you a team, you know, on the chat, so you can connect just like right now.
Yes, and participating in this kind of, you know, meetings, webinars is also a good way to see for anyone else who may be looking for some team members. So
yeah, so we have still 3 webinars to go. So if anyone will have any troubles with a team.
okay, good. So ladies
Super.
and gentlemen, any other questions? Anything that pops into your head for the, let's say, last one? If not, okay. So we are
Another.
Team building. Good. Mention yourself.
It is like the Brandstorm Tinder right
Yeah.
now in our sharing area.
Yeah, so join the next webinars if you want to find anyone to your team, and then, you know, at the beginning announce that you are looking, and for sure by the end someone will join you.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Team building activities, so you can in the next webinars you're going to have an opportunity to at least know each other a little bit. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for today. I hope you had a, you know, an insightful session with us. See you during the next webinars, and see you during Brandstorm, right? I'm assuming we have our at least local finalists here, so we're gonna be happy to see you in our office.
See you in national finals. I think I am a jury, so it will be a pride meeting you in person.
Great.
Have a nice evening. Have a nice evening.
Have a nice
Bye-bye.
evening, all of you. Thank you so much. Bye.